Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakabadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noah's in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. This is from Redacted. It says these chemtrails are out of control and they're getting worse with Dane Wimbledon. Basically, he has a documentary on YouTube called The Dimming, an engineering documentary, which came out about 3 years ago, and it got like 25 million views, which goes into Geo-engineeringwatch.org, which they pretty much went into it on this video. And it explains the reason for the crazy-ass weather we've been getting. Like I've been noticing here in the Midwest, we haven't had a real winter and shit. I don't know how. I think the last one I really remember was that when I was maybe a teenager or a child, you know, when we actually used to get snow in December and in November, because usually the winter sets in late November, early December, and you're seeing, if not an inch, a foot of snow, especially like where we come from, you know, in the Midwest. Real common to get a white winter, but I'm noticing like every year since that time, winter has been coming later and later. In some years, we didn't even have a winter. Like last year, you know, we've had a couple of days that was below freezing, but overall, the last couple of years have been relatively mild. Now, this year was a little different because, I mean, you know, we had record-breaking cold and storms. We had like matter of fact, 2 or 3 systems, which came within not even a month's time, which is still out of whack because, you know, winter is supposed to take place over a course of time, and it's supposed to phase itself out roughly the end of February, the beginning of March, you know, mid of March. But the winter we just had this year seems relatively off. It seems strange. It didn't seem natural. I mean, to the point you have below freezing temperatures, frigid temperatures, below normal, but yet the air is dry as hell. So the minute you breathe in that air, automatically, you know, you contract some type of virus, because we know that dry air can contain viruses, which kind of allows me to speculate that I didn't think viruses thrive in cold air or even hot air, but show you that the shit is being manufactured, you know, which shows you that this man has to be destroyed. Because what it is, February the 26th or 27th, and it's like 60 degrees outside, you know, which technically we're still in the winter. But when you look in the heavens or the sky, you can totally see chemicals out there, you know, because there's like a certain haze that comes with the fact that they're chemtrailing every damn day. And I'm noticing that the grass looks a lot browner. The trees ain't growing back. They're not sprouting like they used to. And when they do sprout, the vibrancy of the green is not, it's not relevant anymore. It's like, it's almost like an off green color. Trees dying in fucking August, July now, you know, it's just a sick world we live in. And this is why this man has to be destroyed. All right, so I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this video. This is a 12-minute video, so I'm not gonna play the entire video. But this man has to be stopped, okay? Point blank, period. He has to be stopped. And if Yahweh Shai don't come back, then it ain't looking too good for us or this planet. All right, so anyway, here we go.
Well, now that President Trump is vowing full transparency, Americans are demanding answers to all of those chemtrails across our skies. RFK Jr.'s former running mate, Nicole Shanahan, just posted this on social media. Watch.
I was taking the weekend off the internet. I've been surfing this morning and was watching the planes flying overhead, and then I couldn't take it anymore. But that is not a contrail. That looked like it started as a contrail maybe, and now it's turning into a cloud. See how thick that is? You can see this one, it's a little further behind, and this one's a little bit further behind as well. This one is the one that's been up there longest. This shit has to end. This is ridiculous. It's like
Yeah, you got contrails and chemtrails, you know, which jet stream that you see from jets and planes, that don't leave any traces in the sky. You know what I'm saying? That don't leave a seed of or a blanket of fog every fucking way. Like back in, what was that, November? Maybe December, late November, early December. I mean, we had what they called it a death fog or something. Like, I mean, it was crazy. We had fog out here for about like a week and a half damn near, off and on. And then a month later, 3 weeks to a month later, then we get hit with this crazy ass snowstorm. And then all of a sudden, temperatures fucking below 12. And 4 days after that, now it's up in the 60s. Like just last week, it was just below freezing to the point you couldn't even walk outside and warm up your damn car. But a week later, now we're touching damn near 65 degrees. And you don't think this has anything to do with the shit that they're spraying in the heavens? Because I'm looking outside now, and to my north, there's a clear sky, even though you can see the haze and stuff from the residue of the chemtrails. But yeah, like to the northwest, it's pretty clear. When I'm looking southeast, or just completely east, you see a mixture of chemicals, man, and they're not clouds. Okay, so they're manufacturing the weather, which causes this crazy ass this blanket of smog in the air. Because Bill Gates or Kill Gates had some provision that they wanted to block out the sun. They had some type of plan that they wanted to block out the sun, and they want to have some type of artificial weather system here. And it's just Esau trying to play the Most High. And you wonder why these diseases and bacterial infections and why people are coming down with shit they don't know that they got, because they're spraying it in the heavens, man. Okay, it's a slow kill.
Otherwise, perfect day.
This has to end, she says. Dane Wigington is the lead researcher and administrator for the website Geo-engineeringwatch.org. He's executive producer for the groundbreaking climate engineering documentary called The Dimming. I encourage all of you to watch that film. Dane has devoted the last 20 years of his life to constant research on the issue of covert global climate engineering operations, and he joins us now. Dane, welcome back to the show. Great to see you. First of all, I just want to get your sense of where things sit right now. This has been a lifelong fight for you to get answers about this. You've pointed out that these are toxic chemicals being sprayed. You have the film footage of these planes spraying these chemicals into the sky. It's in your documentary. Are you hoping that you were going to see some answers here under this Trump administration?
I was not holding my breath. And thank you, Clayton and Natalie, for your continued attention to this extremely dire issue that the vast majority still have no idea the gravity of. In regard to Nicole, I did interview with her, a 1-hour interview about 2 weeks ago. I'm hoping that gets posted soon. I'm very grateful to her for her attention on this issue. What have we seen since January 20th? We saw on January 21st the most aggressive chemical ice nucleation cloud seeding operations we've seen to date. That was the blizzards in New Orleans, Florida, parts of Texas, along the Gulf Coast. At the same time, there were blizzards there along the U.S. Gulf Coast. We had above freezing temperatures and rain in Alaska, Greenland, Iceland, Siberia, Moscow. Nobody reports on that. So these events, again, blizzards on the Gulf Coast with moisture from the record-warm Gulf of Mexico, this is not nature. It's chemical ice nucleation, cloud seeding. It's engineered winter. And these are patented processes, Clayton and Natalie. It's not nature.
Wow.
Can you just break?
And it's not nature because Esau destroyed the ways of nature. And this is what happens when you detonate nuclear bombs in the atmosphere and you cut down trees and you take away the natural cycle of the Earth's resource. Then this is what happens. The Earth is completely out of balance, man. Everything is out of balance, man. Nothing that seems real. Like I remember coming up as a kid, and I remember the summer times and the spring times, you can actually smell the dandelions, man. You can actually smell the grass. You can smell the dew. You wake up in the morning, you can feel it. It was just something different about it. It was more vibrant, more greenery, more butterflies, more bumblebees, more yellow jackets, more flowers. Like we used to have berries that grew on bushes. Now I don't even see it anymore. Where we grew up at, we had what they call pine trees that had we called them acorns, which pine cones and acorns, they're really, I think they're two different things, but we call them acorns. All right. But regardless of it, the pine cones, it has like a particular sap in it. And what happens is when there's a particular chemical or some type of pollutant in the air, automatically the trees will activate and you will smell the scent that the pines will release the resin and scent into the air, and the air would smell sweet, man. And I didn't never know what it was until I started research. I'm like, that's the trees smell like that. Now we have pine trees around where I currently stay, but that's not like any harsh smells around here. But the fact you don't even smell the pine trees no more, the sap is not as potent as it used to be, because for one thing, Esau is cutting down trees, which causes what they call climate change. And then on top of that, he's spraying all the shit in the air. So the trees are dying off, literally. So this man has to be stopped. Now, I've went into this video. Now, I've had this on my tabs for like 2 years now. And it's the spirit that continue to have me to keep this around, because this shows you a depiction of what the and this is pretty much what he's talking about. That's the spirit that I've been holding on to this for like 2.5 years. And yet now he finally comes on redacted, because I didn't even connect the dots with this. I didn't even know that this is what that was. But this is basically their website of them going into Geo-engineering.org. The dimming. And this is the documentary that he's talking about. But yet I've had this queued up on my phone. So that's the spirit, which, you know, it benefits to take a look into this thing, because they go into the engineering fog. They go into like, look at the so-called, I won't call them nuclear winters, but in the chemical enhanced winters. Like sometimes you can go outside and you can smell chemicals, man. And you wonder why your skin is all dried out and you have allergies. Like I've had the worst allergies. I think I've got a whiff of my allergies back in like 2018 when I was working. I used to work outside a lot. And every year they've been getting worse, to the point sometimes I can't even blow I'm practically breathing out of one nostril. That's why I kind of sniff a lot, because I'm trying to get that air. Don't have asthma, none of that shit. You know, lungs okay, but one of my pathways are blocked, and so I use like these what do you call the nasal sprays? Well, I try to use natural shit, but I do like a saline rinse. A saline rinse to kind of get that stuff out of my nose and try to open up the passageways, but it's clogged up to the point it's like something is stuck in the crevice of my nose and I can't get it out. And when I went to ear, nose, and throat specialist, ENT, I think, and they was basically telling me that my turbinates are kind of curved. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that they're offset, almost like you got a broken sternum almost. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? He's like, from fucking pollutants, chemicals, and dry air and all that other stuff can cause you to be out of balance. And they was like, in order to fix it, you can use particular sprays. I'm like, I don't want to be spraying that shit on my nose. He said, well, the only way you can fix it is through surgery. And I'm like, y'all not finna cut inside my body to fix something that's that's something, just, it's not gonna happen. So we gotta suffer this shit, man. You know? But anyway, let me get a precept real quick. Let's go on the book of Revelation 11, and I'm going to start at verses 18. And it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged. And the dead is talking about you heathens. And it says, and that thou shouldest give his reward unto the servants, the prophets, okay, which there will be a reward for all our labors that we had to undergo, okay, which we had to implement. And it says, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, Nate, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And this is another way of destroying the Lord's creation, you know. And it was brought to my attention just through the spirit. I'm like, this man, like, he doesn't care about the earth. It don't belong to him. He's just leasing it out. So he don't really give a fuck about the planet. He's totally destroying it because, for one thing, he hates Yahweh Shai. He's throwing a temper tantrum because of the birthright. So he was like, you know what? Since you allow this nigga to get my birthright, I'm going to just destroy their habitation. Why? Not knowing the dummy is destroying his own self, because you fucking idiot. You got to breathe the same air we breathed in, stupid ass. But it's so weird because I'm looking outside now, and to my left it's clear, but my immediate vision, it's cloudy as hell, okay, because of the fucking chemtrails that they're spraying. Like, I'm looking outside, it's nothing but chemicals in the air, and we got to breathe that shit in. So honestly speaking, I ain't even against the fucking face mask no more, man. I mean, technically, you need one of those, you need a damn gas mask to really have any chance of surviving out here, because ain't no telling what type of metals and shit we got in our lungs and our bloods and fibers and stuff like that that's attached to our bodies, and your detox pathways are all clogged because you're breathing this stuff in. You know, so, you know, if you ever go do an actual blood panel when you get like a hair test, they would tell you all the amount of aluminum and barium and cadmium you have in your body. And it's in exceptional levels because of what they're doing. They're destroying the earth. Okay? And it says here, shall fear thy name, and small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And the temple of Yahweh was opened in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. All right, so this place is going to be thrown down through destruction, and it can't come quick enough, man. All this 2030 shit, all by 2029, we're going to fuck all that, man. Nigga, you need to have this shit implemented by the end of the year. Okay, like Apostle Tar said, we'll literally count down months before all hell break loose, man. And I can very well see it happening relatively soon. Okay, I don't think we're going to go to 2030 or 2029. I don't think so, you know, because, you know, as long as he's trying to draw this thing out, he's going to have to accelerate it, because I don't think we can suffer this dude that long. I mean, he damn sure ain't going to be in power another 1,000 years, according to what some guys say. All right, so anyway, let's go back to the video and get a couple more precepts, and that'll be that.
Break down what she means. What's a contrail versus a chemtrail? Are they the same thing, or is this vernacular?
No, they are not. What we see is a sprayed particulate dispersion. We're not guessing. Geo-engineeringwatch.org and our groundbreaking documentary, The Dimming, over 25 million views on YouTube in spite of draconian social media censorship. We took a National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration flying lab with top scientists in it to altitude, sampled what heavy aircraft were emitting, processed that sample at Rensselaer Polytechnic in New York. That's a world-renowned lab. Found exactly what we knew we would find: climate engineering elements starting with aluminum. Again, this is a sprayed particulate dispersion. We have up-close photographs of these aircrafts at geoengineeringwatch.org. Nozzles visible, turning dispersions on and off. We have up-close photographs of the retrofit nozzles mounted on the wing pylons aimed into the exhaust jet stream to make this look like, quote, condensation. So, no, we are not seeing condensation. It's a sprayed particulate dispersion. We have film footage of it. End of argument.
I mean, Dan, you've been doing
contrails. She's talking condensation, that would otherwise be natural. And she says this is not natural. I get it.
Yeah, vapor. Like when you see like contrails from like the planes and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? The jet stream, that's supposed to be natural condensation, you know? Like water vapors, and then it dissipates in the air. But this is not disappearing. In fact, it's coming down. Like I said, if I actually was recording with my face on it, I'll show you brothers out there what I'm talking about. Because literally they're changing the weather as we speak. So when you look at the newscast, or you look at the weather and they show you these particular models and that the weather is going to be this and that, they're basing those models based on what they're going to spray. Okay, because to be honest, Esau can't predict the weather. Okay, that's up to Yahweh Shai. Okay, now you have what they call the Farmer's Almanac, which they can look at certain trends of herds and the way animals respond, and they can look at like certain trends of the year to determine if it's going to be a bad winter. But even a Farmer's Almanac does not be accurate. Don't always be accurate. You know, but back in the day, that's how they was able to kind of get a depiction on whether they was going to have a drought or have an abundance of rain or moisture for that year. Okay, but now Esau is doing it artificially. So now, if you look at the forecast tomorrow, it's supposed to be a clear day with it was supposed to be a clear day with no clouds in the sky last time I checked the forecast. But if I go back and check the forecast now, it's going to show that it's going to be cloudy. Why? Because the shit they're spraying, and it's not healthy. This shit is killing people, man. This is why people all bugged out. Like, they literally are covering up the sun as we speak. A clear fucking day, a beautiful day outside, but yet you want to destroy it, man. That's why this, man, we can't get you we can't get you devils quick enough, man. You fucking devils gotta go. All right? I mean, I'm just to the point, man. You Edomites, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. All right? Isaiah 14, I'm gonna bring this out again. And it says here, he who smote the people in wrath with continued stroke, he that rooted the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. But the whole earth is at rest and is quiet, and they break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellows come up against us, man. So even the trees are going to rejoice when this man goes down. All right? Because even the trees are dying. Trees are living organisms, man. Everything on the planet Earth has some type of living, it has some type of spirit within it that to the point is living. Trees, they're alive, man, but they're dying. Okay? Trees are alive, man. Like, I saw a video, I don't know if it's true or not, but it was in one country that the trees were actually getting up. I mean, it looked like they were switching, like somehow, some way the trees was able to maneuver around. And I won't be surprised, though, that trees can do that shit. Now, I don't know if it was true or not, but, you know, with Yahweh Shai, anything is very possible, you know. but trees is living, all right? The grass, everything has some type of element to it. But this man, he comes and takes away from it. And that's why it reads, it says here, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming, which hell goes into destruction, and is stirred up the dead for thee. The dead is the other nations, even all the chief ones of the earth, which proves it's not talking about literal hell. It says, if I've raised up from their thrones and all the kings of the nations, man. So the Lord is setting up a inevitable fall for your ass. And it can't come quick enough, man, because honestly speaking, man, between you, your fucking systems, Keisha, and these YNs out here, man, it's enough is enough. And I'll just leave it at that. So I'll read one more precept and I'll end it. I think the point is being made. But this is the book of Matthew 24. And I'm going to start at verses 20. 20. It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in winter, neither on a Sabbath day. Yeah, planes are falling out the sky, right? But it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such it was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no ever shall be. And one thing is funny about it all is that all these people in the comment board, as stupid as they are, they expect this dude, Donald Trump, to come and fix shit. Like this fucking devil didn't know that this shit was going on. This was going on. How long they've been spraying chemtrails? I mean, they've been spraying heavily since this last 21st century. But in the 90s, they were spraying chemtrails. Not as much, but since the 2000s on up, they've been spraying the skies. Really, the last 10 to 15 years, they've been going crazy with this whole Depop agenda. And all you people can say is, oh, you know, this needs to end, this needs to end. Well, how about you do something about it? Okay, you expected some dictator that don't give two fucks about you or your kids to stop this? This man is well aware, knowing that they're spraying stuff in the heavens, man. But he don't care, okay, because he's with the agenda. Like this dude, like this person said here, it says, don't be naive. They are all on one accord. Exactly. It says he was president before, quite honestly, and it was extremely wicked trailing during his presidency. So whoever this, what's this person's name? Michaela or Michael Azan 66666. He's on to something. It says, hope for the best. Just stop putting Trump in a heroic position. I agree. Trump ain't gonna do shit because he's not here for the people. It says, just saying, it's not like he did not know about it and everything else before. At times, all this feels scripted. And I had to like that comment because he or she ain't lying. Everybody think Donald Trump is just gonna come and bring all because he's auditing the IRS. At the end of the day, you still paying taxes, nigga. Your child support payments going up. So until they stop that shit, y'all ain't got nothing to be rejoicing about. Talking about he has a lot on his plate. Man, please. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you will edify to the next lesson. Shalom.
Now, I'm sorry.
Correct.
Go ahead. Okay.
So where are we then with this? I mean, we have so many people in our chat room that are just sick of this. They're sick of looking up into their skies. I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, Dane. You've devoted your life to this. They're sick of seeing this. We have so many viewers who have written to us saying how sick they've become as a result of it. Can you talk about what sort of effect this is having on human beings? What is it having? This effect is having on our bodies? And then who the hell is doing this?
It's affecting virtually every living thing. Primary element in climate engineering operations and patents, aluminum nanoparticles. Bioavailable aluminum is toxic to all life forms, period. No exceptions. We are all sucking this stuff in with every breath we take. Clayton and Natalie, do you remember all the reports of and it's ongoing, in fact, the fog and people getting sick in the fog? You guys probably saw that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, during the atomic bomb, or even further? Or you're talking about recently?
Oh, this is right now. This is in recent months. I mean, we have extraordinary amounts of fog blanketing 10, 12 states at a time. Again, this is a result of chemical ice nucleation operations as well, because when you're creating a cold, dense, chemically induced layer of air at the surface, you're going to expand any kind of fog layer that's there, and that's exactly what's happening. It isn't just fog in this fog, and people are getting sick, and that's not their imagination. Again, we're testing precipitation, so we know that we have aluminum, barium, strontium, manganese, polymer fibers, surfactants, graphene. All of that is in our rain, which means it's in our breathable air column. Those are all climate engineering elements. And Clayton and Natalie, have you seen how many massive 100-car pileups we have now every time there's a frozen precipitation event? You guys noted that?
I haven't been, I mean, I see, postings on X, and I haven't accounted for them, the quantity. So you're saying the quantity of these pileups has skyrocketed as a result?
Yes, as has massive hail events. Now we have hail that's baseball and softball size all the time, destroying cars, solar fields. So on this slick material, surfactants are used in this mix. They're in the patents. And the stated purpose is to keep these particles from coagulating together and descending more rapidly. Surfactants are what makes soap soap. So now we have what amounts to soap, snow. It's unimaginably slick. And anybody who's grown up in snow knows the difference in composition in this super slick, what amounts to soap, snow. So again, they're not only making the frozen precipitation, all precipitation, toxic, but now there's many other dangers that come with that. And there's so much contamination in the rain. It's changing soil pH values. In our case, in Northern California, and I have the USDA baselines from the 40s. I'm not guessing. Got that from a contact at USDA. So much toxic material is coming down in our rain that it has escalated soil pH values here in Northern California 10 to 12 times toward alkaline. Nothing is growing here. Soils are completely sterilized. There's no decomposition on the forest floor, and we're breathing all that.
So we have people in our chat room saying, let's see, Philly Vortex this year coating on the cars. I have someone else from Fresno saying, Fresno used to be the breadbasket of California, no longer the case. Soil's being destroyed.
Right.
So,
after watching your last bit on Redacted, I don't let my daughter eat the snow that just falls out. Like, can I eat the snow? No, you cannot. I want to ask you, if you don't mind, where would we begin if we wanted to get real answers besides your independent work? But where would we begin to get answers from the government and make this stop? Or is it because it's too many tentacles?
The only way this stops is when we reach the pitchforks and torches moment, the proverbial pitchforks and torches moment, when people realize they are literally fighting for their lives right here, right now. If we have soils that don't grow food and we have our own personal health that's deteriorating by the day, we're not going to be fighting anything for much longer. Bottom line, this will take everybody sharing credible data from a credible source. Geo-engineering Watch strives to be that source. We don't say it if we can't back it up. And the bottom line, people ask why. Again, they ask why over and over. Why would they do this to themselves? Natalie and Clayton, you've heard that question asked probably, right? Why would they do this to themselves?
Yeah.
Right.
So on that most important question, we need to consider what, quote, they have done to themselves already. Detonation of 2,400 plus nuclear bombs, which contaminated everything on planet Earth, including and they ultimately is those who print the money. That's who's running the whole show. Political stripes are not something that can stop this. I don't care what side of the fence it's on. It's only ramping up. Again, in the January 21st New Orleans blizzard was evident of that. They're not going to stop these programs. And we have nuclear everything, Fukushima, triple nuclear meltdown, no technology to fix it, no end in sight. That will be an ELE extinction level event. If we can't figure out a way to stop that, we have 442 more nuke plants still online. We have 60 more being built. The proverbial those who print the money are power addicts. It's like a cancer. Does a cancer intend to kill its host? No. The cancer intends to proliferate unchecked until the host dies. And the stated purpose for these programs, so your listeners know, Natalie and Clayton, is solar radiation management, stratospheric aerosol injection, cloud albedo enhancement. It's important to use the science terms when introducing this issue. The CHEM-TRAILS term, if people Google that, go straight to conspiracy theory and hoax. That doesn't help our cause. Stick to solid facts. But even though they state this as some sort of benevolent way of cooling the planet, it's doing exactly the opposite. It's destroying the planet's remaining life support systems and contaminating everything in the process. And we know it's being used as a weapon because we see systematic targeting of agricultural regions. Flash freeze, flash drought, flash flood. There's no question this is being used as a covert weapon of the controller.
Why are these EMF things so expensive?